Okay, on the long trudge back to the truck, thought I'd stop and take a little break and recap what just happened. It was late in the day, and I found a track. It wasn't real big, but it was a lone track, and there was a possibility it could be a buck. So I thought I'm going to play with it, and how I handled it differently was, since it was late in the day, I pushed as hard as I could, which I usually like to do anyway. I like to push hard, but really throw caution to the wind and go. It was about 1.25 miles, and I freshened the deer up. I knew I was going to encounter it because it started weaving really hard, and a lot of times I don't put a lot of stock into that, but it was weaving really hard. It was really back and forth and back and forth. It was looking for a place to lay down, and I knew it was right there, but it was so thick I couldn't see 20 yards. So I knew I'd probably, and then the wind was not in my favor either, so I thought either way I'm probably blown here. But I pushed on, and sure enough, I did kick him out of the bed. I never heard him, never saw him, and he took off. And I checked the bed. There was no tarsal staining in it, and that kind of was curious. Tracking tip: in this situation, I was in a no-wind situation. I had the wind not in my favor and really heavy, dense cover, and I knew he was going to bed down real soon. So the best thing you can do in a situation like that is, you're not going to win anyway, so just push in as hard, as fast as you can, and just get in there and blow him out, and try to get him into a more favorable situation down the road. Well, I freshened him up. Doggone it. I knew he was looking for a place to lay down. Son of a gun. Well, now I'm out of time, I think. The time constraints, I pushed on him right away. Go fast when he's running. They usually run anywhere 1/4 mile, 1/2 mile. So that's what I did. And he stopped dead in his tracks, just bam. Turned and started walking, and there was 2 other deer there, and I thought maybe he was really distracted by those deer, or maybe trying to use those deer to throw me off. Whatever the case, I started weaving through it, and he was circling around with them there, around and around, and so I just tried to stay with it, and eventually I sorted it out. And it wasn't much further. I didn't think it would be. Maybe 100, 150 yards further down. Yeah, 150 yards. I caught up to the deer. I saw 2 deer, and I pulled up and scoped them. It was a doe and a fawn, and either one would have been easy shooting, but the third deer I could not see, so I didn't know. So after they kind of, I think the wind swirled, I think, because they knew something was wrong, and they took off. So then I backed off again, and I circled back around, and I caught the third track, and I sorted that out, and I started following that, and sure enough, I saw the third deer. Well, the deer ended up being a doe, so I didn't shoot. A few takeaways from the hunt. It's all right to take a track late in the day. I've done it a lot of times. A little luck on your side, and you can put a deer down in an hour or less. So I'm never afraid to take a track late in the day. If you do take a late day track, move fast. Just take a risk, take a chance, just go really fast. I like to move fast anyway, but go as fast as you can. On that particular hunt, I ran into a situation where the situation wasn't favorable for me. The wind was wrong, the cover was heavy, and the indications were all that the deer was going to bed down. I knew before it happened that I was going to come up on an empty bed. When you come across a situation like that, just go fast. Don't worry about it. Don't try to pick your way through that cover, or don't try to be really quiet or sneaky. Just go, get in there. You're not going to win right there. You might win later on, but you're not going to win there. So get in there, get that deer moving. If you get lucky, you might get a shot. If not, move them somewhere else, and then try to get them there. So if the conditions aren't favorable, get in there and move them. Again, if the deer starts meandering really hard like this one did, it's most likely going to bed. If it starts feeding hard, it's going to bed, most likely. Very seldom does it not. And probably last but not least, tracking is a whole lot of fun. So don't ever be afraid to get out there and give it a shot.